Daines.
Mr. Chairman, thank you. If I might just comment on the state's role, and thank you, Chief Schultz, for being here. If you take a look at the landscapes across Montana and look at federal lands versus state lands, I can tell you the state's doing a much, much better job in terms of stewardship of public lands than the federal government. And I appreciate the efforts you're doing to work with the states as you are doing. I know the Idaho delegation, Chief Schultz, likes to claim you. But I want to remind the committee here that before you were in Idaho, you were a Montanan, and it was good to see you here. You understand the West, and I appreciate that. I want to acknowledge the work the Forest Service firefighters are doing currently across the country. This fire season is expected to be another challenging year for you and your team. Congress must do more to ensure the Forest Service has the tools needed to not only fight the fires, but to prevent them in the first place. And we can do this by increasing better forest management activities, decreasing litigation that's holding up projects. Chief Schultz, on the 4th of July, President Trump signed into law the One Big Beautiful Bill, and with it is an extremely important provision for forest health. As you know, the new law requires the Forest Service to nearly double annual timber sales by 2034. That would put Montana at approximately 250 million board feet and about 5 billion board feet nationally. These numbers are more in line with our forest plans and will lead to stronger rural communities, better forest health, and reduced wildfire risk. Chief Schultz, will you prioritize the implementation of this provision in the One Big Beautiful Bill?
Senator Daines, thanks for the question. Yes, we will be doing that. We know that those provisions are there. I think the increase is 250 million board feet nationally, year over year, for the next 10 years, and we will be doing that. Yes, sir.
Thank you. You brought up the Cottonwood decision in one of your responses. I have the bill that will fix that disastrous Ninth Circuit Cottonwood decision. It's crucial in preventing some of the litigation that is stopping wildfire mitigation work, and fixing it will be necessary for you to fully implement the new provisions that are found in the Big Beautiful Bill. In Montana alone, there are 367 million board feet of timber projects tied up in litigation. This means less work done on the ground before fire season starts in Montana, an increased risk of catastrophic wildfires for our communities. And by the way, many think about Montana as being, their beautiful rivers, our fishing, which we're all a part of. We are a semi-arid state. Think about this city here, Washington, D.C. gets 39 inches of rain, more than Seattle gets, by the way, by a little bit. My hometown of Bozeman, 16 inches of rain. So it's a precious commodity water is. It's also why we've got to be smarter and better in managing our forests because of the semi-arid climate of which I get to call home, which I'm very thankful for. There are increased costs as the Forest Service must spend additional staff time responding to litigation and time trying to make these projects bulletproof rather than advancing other work. In fact, during a recent hearing, Associate Chief Chris French said the Forest Service unit costs are double in regions with frequent anti-forestry litigation. Chief Schultz, will you commit to working with me and this committee to get a legislative fix done so that the Forest Service can focus on getting fire mitigations completed rather than fighting endless litigation?
Senator Daines, yes, we will do that.
And incidentally, on that Ninth Circuit Cottonwood fix, this started off as a small band here of advocates wanting to address that issue. It's moved now to being very bipartisan. In fact, it came through unanimous consent in this committee last time we had it before in a markup. So I'm hoping we can get this done. Both sides of the aisle recognize the importance of fixing that Ninth Circuit decision and making the Ninth congruent with the rest of the nation. Third, I want to talk about emergency action determinations. In April, Secretary Rollins expanded the authorization for the Forest Service to use the emergency action authority that I authored. This authority reduces red tape, allows the Forest Service to expedite needed active forest management and prevent these catastrophic wildfires. No one can deny that our forests are in a crisis with beetle kill, drought, overgrowth that are destroying the health of our forests. Chief Schultz, can you speak to the groundwork the Forest Service has been able to do with this expanded emergency authority?
Senator Daines, yes, thanks for the question. So yeah, that authority expanded that. Previously, it was about 20 to 30 million acres have been identified. Now we're looking at 112 million acres across the country that are at risk of catastrophic fire or insect and disease. So those authorities help us to get work done quicker on the ground. We're using that today in Region 1, in Region 6, and in Region 5. So those authorities are already moving forward, as you alluded to.
Great, thank you.